Hey, I think here we are. I think we are live again. So, just waiting on people coming in, realizing that I am doing a live stream today. Now, one thing that most people don't realize, I am starting to do live streams just for questions and answers, and I'm going to be doing these typically on Wednesdays and Saturdays are looking like the days where I'm going for. Usually going to be in a little bit later in the evening, just because when you got kids, you got to wait for them to go to bed. So, but yes, okay, I am seeing people rolling in already. Hi, hi, hi. What up from Detroit? I am also from Detroit as well. So, what up, Joe Motion Inc. And let's see, already Brazil, Mexico, Greenville. Hey, over there, my Greenville, South Carolina. How you guys doing? Man, I'm seeing good morning. Good morning. Right now it is 9:43 p.m. over here in Tampa, Florida. Miami, Brazil, Alabama and Mobile, Aiken, South Carolina, Tennessee. Man, already coming in. All right, let me see. Oh,
Can you help people with really bad scoliosis?
can I help people with really bad scoliosis? So, by the way, my wife is sitting across from me right now. She's also kind of reading off some of the questions out there. I'm over here just on my laptop right now. Yes, I can definitely help patients when people do have really bad scoliosis. Definitely can help with a lot of pain issues and kind of problematic type things that people might be feeling. I would say getting the spine, actually corrected is going to take a little bit more than just chiropractic care. Might need some bracing or some stretching, strengthening, things like that. But yes, I definitely work with a lot of people who have scoliosis. Oh, I'm seeing this Kansas City go Chiefs. Trust me, I got some of them guys over on the KC been hitting me up. So definitely looking forward to that game. Not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed. My Tampa Bay Buccaneers got knocked out, but not gonna lie, when I was watching, I kind of missed that game a little bit. I was in the office working that day, but I did see LA Rams play Atlanta play Arizona, and man, they got LA Rams were looking really good, but I'm still rooting for my Niners out there and DJ Jones. So hopefully that's gonna be who I'm going for already.
So, whatever happened to the guy who was in the wheelchair?
To the guy that was show off praise, show off praise. Um, so he has seen me what three times now, right? Or is it?
Three or four,
Yeah,
yeah,
three.
something like that.
Yeah, so he's came to me about 3 or 4 times now, and he has honestly first adjustment he was in pretty bad shape, but towards the end of that adjustment started getting some sensations in his legs. Second visit, same thing. We were
And
getting
he was
more
saying he
sensations.
was saying he slept better than he slept in a very long time.
Yeah, he
He
was
had a
good.
lot more energy. He said even his mood was like just better
But
afterwards.
yeah, and I know. So what was it? I think after the third visit with me, because he's been getting that much more sensation in his legs, just kind of feeling and kind of nerve twitches and things like that, he is actually looking to there was a what was it, like a doctor's office in Chicago that specializes in helping paraplegic and quadriplegics with relearning to walk again.
Like spinal rehab.
Yeah, it's like a whole spinal rehab, and that's what they strictly focus on. And he is very confident now, and I mean, he's very driven. He feels like I've definitely helped get him to the point where he had no hope and already told himself I will never walk again. And with getting the chiropractic adjustments, he now has like the inspiration and drive to really want to walk again, and actually feels that he may have a chance with that, which is to me freaking awesome.
So, Will Reynolds asks, quick question. I go to my local chiropractor and he does the Y strap, but I do not get any release from my neck or back. Is he not pulling hard enough or doing something wrong?
Um, I mean, granted, I would kind of have to watch and observe and see what he's doing. A lot of times what I've noticed, because I've come across quite a few videos of other chiropractors using the Y strap, which is a great tool. But yes, a lot of chiros out there, they just don't give a good enough pull. But there's also a lot of things that I watch for when I go to do and use that adjustment. I'm looking at patient, how they're breathing, checking and making sure. You can tell when somebody's like tensing up and you just want to wait for it to relax. You'll see sometimes I do that like little wiggle, um, and I'm waiting for their body to relax. So there are a few kind of steps that I take before I do that Y strap on patients, just to make sure that we get the most possible decompression as we can.
Well, then you give it a
Oh yeah, I
good
give it.
game too.
Yeah, I give a good pull, but like any other chiropractic adjustment out there, and one thing that I've noticed, you're keeping that. So when I get somebody to tension, I'm keeping them at that tension, doing that wiggle, and then pulling while they're still at tension. So I'm never losing that tension with the patient while I do that Y strap. And I mean, and they'll release very easily.
Oh, what can I do? I need 2 hip replacements, but bones are not strong enough. I need help in North Carolina.
Ew. Bilateral hip replacement, bone is not strong enough. I would say one, it's gonna first come down to age, looking at diet change, I mean, obviously finding the right surgeon, depending on what's going on with the X-rays. There, I mean, I would have to look at the X-rays first to really give a better kind of answer to that question. If you email me at Dr. Joseph Cipriano at gmail.com, I would love to take a look at the x-rays and give you my opinion and or on what I'm seeing and what is going on, and at least help guide you to the next steps with that one.
What can be done for continuous neck popping?
Say that again. What can be
What can be done for continuous neck popping?
I mean, sometimes people just have that urge where they want to crack their neck, and usually it's their body's way of telling them that something is out of alignment. But most of the time, when you actually, I kind of got it right there. But most of the time, when you do little things like that, you'll move segments above and below, and you're not actually going to be able to get that segment that needs the adjustment, because usually a lot of the times it might be locked or fixated, and then you hyper extend and hyper move a segment above or below and can cause some issues. But usually it's your body's way of telling you that yes, something is out of alignment in your neck.
Did you or do you do chiropractic care on children?
I do chiropractic care on children. Depending on the age is definitely a little bit different. I mean, I adjusted both my children right from birth. I mean, day one.
Birth isn't just rough on the mom; it's rough on the baby too.
You
With the doctor yanking him out and
Well,
everything.
I mean, you got to look at it. The goal of the medical doctor when getting a baby out, baby's or mama's life is number one important, and then baby's life is number two important. Their goal is getting everybody out, and at times there's some pulling involved, and which completely necessary at times. And when a baby comes out and it's a little infant like that, I mean, it's not like the adjustments you see me do on YouTube or anything. They
There's
are
no cracker cavitation to it.
Yeah, it's typically going to be like a sustained contact with the finger right on that atlas, and you can glide that atlas back over to midline. Typically, that would be the number one thing that might go out of alignment, especially with pulling of the patient of the little baby's neck when exiting the woman,
The mama.
the mama.
When was the last time you shaved your beard off?
Actually, I've had my beard since like 2015. What are we, 2022 now? So yeah, it's been
7, 8 years.
7, 8 years, I would say. Oh, shout out to Mama Sip for getting the videos out and editing. Yes, Mama Sip does do, I would say, like 95% of the editing right?
Yeah, on all platforms.
Yeah, on all platforms. I mean, between YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, soon to be Snapchat. I mean, it's a little bit of everything. Hard to keep up with everything, and then also hard to do different things on different platforms, because I don't just want to put the same thing out on each platform. Then it kind of gets lame and redundant, but we've been having some fun with some new adjustments that I've been well, somehow my wife runs into these new adjustments on TikTok quite a bit, and so we've been having some fun at home trying these adjustments on her, and those are definitely funny. Um, let's see. Oh, I did a video with Dr. Jason. Will I ever do a adjustment with Dr. Bender? Actually, I do like Dr. Bender. I would have no issue in doing an adjustment with him. Um,
Where's your office located?
he's that one chiropractic medicine, real nice guy. So I would definitely do an adjustment with him. My office, I have 3 offices. I've got one here in Tampa, Florida. I have one in Atlanta, Georgia, and then I have the OG in Greenville, South Carolina.
What is the best way to basically crack your own back?
Oof. Not, I would say not. I wouldn't say that I don't recommend doing self things, but a lot of times right in the morning when you wake up, when you do a good see, and I still got another one that just went. When you do a good stretch, I would say the only thing that I wouldn't do, I wouldn't try to force anything like that when doing a self adjustment. Those are about the only things that I would actually stay away from. Um, Also, right in the morning when waking up, you can kick one leg off the side of the bed and just let your hip hang over. A lot of times you'll get that lumbar spine going going right up. So those would be some good self adjustments at home. But yeah, typically I don't like when patients come in and they're like, "Oh yeah, let me show you what I," and I'm like, "Oh God, you don't know what you're moving, where you're moving it," and then when you do that force with it too, oh, it's cringing. But that's why I'm here.
So I'm in the 10th grade and I want to go to school to become a chiropractor. How many years of school is it, and is it worth it?
So in 10th grade, not gonna lie, gosh, I had no idea what I wanted to do back then. So, how much schooling is chiropractic school? So I did 4 years for my undergrad, for my bachelor degree, and then it's another 3.5 for your doctorate in chiropractic. Um, that was probably the hardest thing that I ever had to accomplish school-wise was getting that doctorate. Most people think that chiropractic school is, kind of a joke, but, joke's on them with that one. It's very intense.
There's a lot of people quitting and
Oh, there's a huge failure rate when it comes to students in chiropractic school just because I feel like they're not ready or they just didn't come prepared. And yeah, the workload and everything is just insane. So
you're scaring this kid.
it's truthful though, but all right, if you look at it in the other route, when you're done and you're graduated, picture going to an office every day and you're helping people get relief and you're helping people out of pain, and all day every day you've got people thanking you saying, oh my gosh, I'm feeling amazing, blah blah blah. Where your typical job, you could sit at an office working a 9 to 5 and usually getting yelled at, you know where's my reports, getting demanded things. You don't feel appreciated. So I would definitely say as a chiropractor it is very rewarding and very appreciative.
Why do you feel like the Y strap method is better than the towel method?
I mean, to be honest, both the Y strap and a towel are very similar. I just like the Y strap. You get a little bit more leverage because it's an actual strap, and so when you're pulling, you don't have to use as much force. Now, I've used the towel, and granted, it just goes below the neck, under the chin, and you grab from the sides of the towel, and you're pulling straight up with it, which definitely is not bad. But as the doctor doing it, you are definitely using quite a bit more strength because you need to. You just don't have that leverage.
Well, and then as the patient, like you've done the towel on me before, and I feel like the towel, I feel like it's kind of choking me. It's not, but it feels like it's choking me because it's so close to my neck. Where
Correct.
the Y strap, it's just not as,
I know it's not. I
it's
know
not
it's.
as much of that feeling, I guess.
I mean, you are right, but to be honest, even with the towel laying on the neck, kind of like that. I mean, if you really have like a fear of like something tight around your neck, that might not be the greatest with the towel. But I'm not gonna lie, both do very well if done properly.
What is your opinion on inversion tables?
So I do like inversion tables. My parents had one growing up. I would say the one thing that most people don't realize where they don't use it properly is they get on the inversion table, they, lock their ankles in, they flip upside down and they go straight upside down. And what you don't realize when you go straight upside down, you're going to get more blood that's going to rush to your head before you actually start feeling the relief and that decompression in the lumbar spine. Now, anytime I've gone on it, what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to flip up, but you're only going to want to stay kind of about here. When you're here, it's going to take about a minute or so to let your muscles just kind of calm down and relax. Once that happens, then you'll be able to get a nice stretch and a nice pull. Now, granted, some people might feel it all the way down. Anytime I've personally ever used it, it was very kind of targeted into the low back lumbar region. But I've definitely recommended inversion tables to many patients.
When will you open an office in the Caribbean?
In the crib, well, I'm not gonna lie, we've been going more south, more south, more south. You never know. That could be the next office going out to the Caribbean. So who knows?
So if we're to book an appointment, it'd be in the Florida location.
So I am doing adjusting personally out of Florida and out of Greenville. So just waiting on my Atlanta, Georgia, um, board to go through so then I can be a licensed practitioner in Georgia. So as of right now, it is Greenville and Tampa. Tampa, you will definitely find more availability because I'm in Tampa 3 weeks out of the month, and I only travel to my South Carolina office once a month or one weekend a month. So
Can a long-awaited adjustment cause me back and muscle issues? Like if he waits too long for a period of time to get
in
adjusted,
between,
yeah, can
well,
that cause more back pain and issues?
typically, what I like doing and what I like seeing with my patients, my goal with everybody is about 4 adjustments a year, so roughly about every 3 months. Now, just kind of depending on the situation at hand. Even today, I had a few patients where actually, one in particular, I'm having come back next month. They did great. They responded really well, but that they were in such chronic pain for such a long time. I just want to make sure, and in a month from now, redo the alignment, make sure everything has been set and is holding. And then now, after that second visit, then I might push them on a little bit further. And then I even had another patient where I have her coming back in about 2 months. So just depends on kind of the situation at hand, and then also going to depend on what you do for work and social life and whatnot.
So L4, L5 remedies, doc. Wifey back crack ain't enough. We are
Elf.
stand on your back.
Oh, yeah, I get that all the time. At least one person a day that comes in the office. It's my wife, my girlfriend. I have them stand on my back, and I was like, oh, who knows what they're doing. I mean, at least they're not telling me they're like jumping on them. But I would say any parents out there with little kids, I know you're getting jumped on all the time. So it it is what it is with
No,
that.
not at all.
Yeah, not at all, right?
I think I have a pinched nerve. Can that be fixed with chiropractic?
Honestly, I help patients with pinched nerves all the time. Um, the only thing I would say, depending on the severity of it, if it's just like your normal pinched nerve and it is just a little bit of a disc bulge, 100% I help with that all the time. If it's bad enough to the point where a little fragment has pulled off of the disc itself, that might actually be requiring a surgical removal with that, but that's all going to depend on just the severity of the disc bulge.
Is the price the same for children and up as adults seeking care? And do you do kids like 14 plus?
Yes, I do adjust kids that are 14 plus. I actually had a 14-year-old boy today in the office that came with his mother. Um, I would say a lot of the times we will give a discounted rate, just say like if the mother or father came in and a younger child was then wanting to get adjusted also, typically would have the parent schedule an adjustment for themselves first, and then we'll add the child in office. at a discounted rate. I don't put anything up on the website, um, like booking as a child or anything like that, because I always want to make sure that there is an adult there with them.
And if anybody's booking a 10 or under child just on their own, just call the office or email us and we'll
Y-
set that up.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Actually, my wife is right with that. Definitely call the office or email, and we'll get that set up for you.
Why do you use massage guns before an adjustment? What are some tips for maximizing the benefit of massage guns at home?
So I do a massage pre and post adjustment, and the reason is so patients coming in, one, when their muscles are very tight, as a chiropractor, it's harder for me to adjust the patient. So I first want to relax the back. I'll go through everything from neck, upper back, middle back, lower back, hips, sacrum, and I will relax everything first. Then when I make the adjustments, patients usually, their bodies are a little bit calmer, they're easier to make the adjustment on. And after, I'll use that massage gun again, because what a lot of people don't realize is muscle memory. Because if a muscle has been out of, or sorry, if the bone has been out of alignment for so long, the muscle has been pulling the bone out of alignment for, that period of time. And it could be something that has been out of alignment for about, a couple of years even. And you want to maximize the effectiveness of the adjustment. So that's why I'll do the pre and post massage with every adjustment.
Is parking and building handicap accessible? Have you treated a patient with a cerebral palsy?
Yes, I actually geez, I feel like I had a little bit of everything today. I had a patient come in, poor guy, had 2 broken ankles and was in a wheelchair, came in with his son. So obviously we were not doing leg pulls. He had the MRI reports and X-ray reports on everything, so I was able to look at what was going on. Granted, the 2 big boots on his feet kind of was a red flag already, and coming in on a wheelchair. But yes, all the buildings are wheelchair accessible. And yes, I have adjusted. I would say I've adjusted children with cerebral palsy. I think the oldest has maybe been around, I don't know, 13, 14. But yes, I have done. It's definitely need the parent around when doing that. We want everyone kind of just calm, relax, and whatnot. Some techniques are, won't be used as much as others, and it just is going to depend on the patient, with the amount of force and things like that that can be done.
When is booking available for Greenville again?
If you go on the website right now, ystrapdoc.com, we opened up that, what was it, Friday the 11th? What was that? What's that? Of February?
Yeah, and then you've got some like end of March availability, and I believe April. We will be opening up some more in Greenville shortly.
Yeah, but I would say the soonest available is going to be Friday. That should be February 11th, that Super Bowl weekend. And I know there's probably only like 4 or 5 appointments left because we just opened that up. I was
Just go on our website,
yeah,
ystrapdoc.com.
yep, ystrapdoc.com. I was feeling bad because Saturday and Sunday were completely booked, and we had so many people in the Greenville area, or people wanting to get into that office, and that's why we ended up opening up that Friday also.
So I've been to a chiropractor and they would use a massage tool in my upper part and it would hurt so bad. Why do you think it would feel that way?
I would say it would depend on what kind of tool, because even like for me and my massage guns that I have, depending on the tip that they have, if they've got something that's more pinpoint, I mean, it's going to change the way the massage feels. Personally, I like to use a broad, very kind of roundish, but more flat tip, very soft. So nothing that is like hard driving into the body. But I'm using that for relaxation purposes, and with relaxing them. Yeah, we want to relax the muscles. I'm not Now there are times when I change a tip and I'll put on a very pointy tip that's a lot harder than the one that I typically use if I'm really trying to pinpoint an area. And I'll pre-warn the patient, let them know that this ain't gonna feel good, but it is definitely needed. So that could be something that happened.
Somebody said, "Where's the little ones at?" You got like 3 now, right?
I have 2 little ones, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and they are both down for bed. But I know our son. We're gonna see little
We'll see him
footstep.
soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wakes up. We put him down, and in about 2 hours, he usually wakes up.
Makes his way down into our bedroom.
Yeah, makes his way down, comes into our bedroom. So he's not up yet, but yeah, he was down. He's down right now.
How much does a session cost on the fan of your work?
So for me, either out of the Greenville, South Carolina office or the Tampa office, it is 200 a session. Um, and so I have that option of filmed or non-filmed. Some people are completely against being filmed, which I don't blame them, and they like to choose the 300 non-film session. But I would say, I don't know, 90% of the people book the film session at 200. And then I do also have Dr. Trey in Atlanta, so I've trained him up quite a bit, and he does the same style, flow, and everything like me. And I have him set at 100 in adjustment.
Will a neck adjustment make my ears open back up? I recently had COVID, and this is the only thing left lingering.
Is the ears opening up? So there are a couple adjustments when it comes to the ear because it's a little bit more of upper cervical. Working on the occiput atlas is good technique. So I'll do a typically when I do occiput, I'll do more of a supine. So that means laying on your back, and I'll do an occipital lift while laying supine. I know a lot of people see that uh, the tubial lift when he stands up on the table. He stands up on the table because he's a short guy like me, and it looks really funny on video. But yeah, doing it standing on a table or doing it laying down on your back, you can both hit that occipital lift. That can help clear up and open up the ear. Also, there is an adjustment. Let's see if we can get it. I'm gonna move in. So, how I do my ear, I'll come in. Picture a Nike swoosh. Picture that Nike swoosh. So we'll pull down. I don't know if you guys heard it. I heard it,
I
but
heard it from here.
did you really? Yeah,
Yeah.
you pull down, kind of pull a little forward, pull it back up,
You'll
and
hear it pop.
yeah, you'll hear it pop, and it literally pulls on that Eustachian tube, and just kind of straightens it out. That one I would say I use that the most when I am going on a plane, and you start feeling that pressure change. You'll see me over here, and my wife will be like, "Hey,
They heard
babe,
it too, yeah.
babe, pull my ear." Oh, they did hear it.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because it's just a microphone or just a computer speaker, but that's
See,
kind of cool.
you answered somebody else's question because they were asking if you do the occipital lift.
Oh, an occipital lift. Yeah, I like I said, I typically do occiput lift while patients in that supine position though, or laying on their back.
My C1 keeps moving out of place. I've done chiropractic adjustments for over a year and no improvement. Any adjustment or any suggestions?
You know, a lot of times when I'm trying to go right for that atlas at C1, um, one technique I feel like is almost underrated and a lot of people don't use it. We were taught, it was funny because we were taught it like our first adjusting technique in school, which it's like one of the most powerful techniques, but it's called a toggle technique. And that's when you'll lay the patient on their side. You have that little bit, you bring that drop table up, so you have to have a certain type of table to do a toggle adjustment, and you're literally dropping on that toggle from whatever side that atlas shifted out, and you're dropping and you're driving it back down to the other side to bring it back to midline. um, Very big fan of doing toggle. That could be one of the things. Or a lot of the times I see my wife laughing already. Or one thing that if a lot of people keep getting that C1 going out, there could be something else in the neck at a different level that keeps pulling it out. And so you might have that might almost be a secondary issue to a primary issue that's, pulling with that. What are we laughing for?
You got everybody popping their ears.
Really?
It was like, so the person that initially asked about it said, I just tried it, felt cool. And this one was like, I just tried it on my ear and almost ripped it out. So he said, I just tried the ear pool and it popped. That's hilarious. All right, I'm sorry. Have you ever thought about making adjustment tutorials for chiropractors?
Um, I would say it's almost harder to it's hard to just tell somebody how to do it. It's easier if it was like I would feel a lot better if I was to do an actual like class with other chiropractors or chiropractic students and having having everybody, adjusting each other and trying it out and getting things to tension. And then they could feel me doing something on them, because I feel like that's the best way of learning. So if somebody asked, how much force you pull with the Y strap, it's hard to give a number of what I do. It's you need to feel it, and then obviously with every person, it's a little bit different depending on age, bone density, things like that. What are you reading? That I just tried the ear pull and it popped. I saw that
Now
one
I'm able
from
to hear my
Macy.
neighbors talking.
What?
Oh my god, you guys are hilarious. Since I've had COVID in December, I've had the worst back and neck shoulder pain. Have you noticed this with patients that have had COVID in the past?
I feel like patients and, well, people who have been getting COVID, um, that I mean, one, to me, it's just a very bad flu. Granted, depending on what kind of there's going to be different strands of everything out there, and in another month, we're going to hear another strand and whatnot. But I feel like when you get a flu, your body just you
It's weak.
it gets weak, and a lot of the times when people's bodies are weaker, they tend to get into the what's considered the fetal position. And when you're doing that, your shoulders are coming up, you're kind of hunching forward, and it really just throws your body out of alignment quite a bit, because you're in a position that you're normally not in, and you might be in that for an extended period of time. And yeah, your body just doesn't like it.
Do you do wellness plans, as in someone come in 2 to 3 times a week, or do people come in as needed?
Typically, as patients come in as needed, but even like I tell patients, even if you're not in pain, like if I see you, um, if I see you a couple times, and like I always say, my goal is always to see a patient about 4 times a year. Um, Granted, depending on people from traveling and things like that, it might be a little bit more difficult at times. But I always say, like people, like when you drive a car, you always need to tune up your car. You're doing an oil change, putting gas in. Like same with their bodies, we need to just kind of retune it, give it a little realignment, and just make sure things are tip top shape for you.
Logging sharks. I'm so sorry. I keep meaning to read the question, and then I keep forgetting and going to the next one.
All
So
right.
he's been asking, what kind of adjustment would you suggest for someone that's played soccer for 12 years and works in a restaurant several hours a day?
Ugh. Man, you got like the worst issues on one. So I also played soccer from a little kid. Haven't played in years because my mind remembers what I used to do. But anyways, yeah, I mean, you're putting a lot of stress, lower body, core, with playing soccer, but a lot of times in a restaurant, especially if you're in that position, you're carrying those trays, so you're really messing up that shoulder. And a lot of times when I get people who come into the office that are working in a restaurant, you'll notice they almost start to develop a slight scoliosis in the upper back, just because you're always prone, you balance the tray on one side, and it's a lot of times you don't switch to the other. You're on one side, you bring it out, and it's that same
Or
repetition.
even as a cook, like if you're at the line, you're kind of like hunched over and in
Correct.
that same position for hours.
And it's that repetition, when you're doing the same type of movement and that repetition over and over and over, day in, day out, your body's gonna start, trying to find ways to almost be in that position easier. So definitely recommend getting adjustments done. In that case, I love doing that Y strap because it'll rock that upper thoracic area and pull everything back straight again. Typically, when it comes to more acute injuries, those are the easiest to correct through chiropractic care.
How much is your adjustment for in Greenville?
In Greenville, like I was saying, so Greenville and Tampa is the same thing. I have the 200 for if you don't mind being filmed for an adjustment, or if you do not want to be filmed, it is 300 an adjustment.
Who inspired you to make content?
Actually, it would be my sister. So my sister, she has a gaming channel called Lady Luck HQ, and she gambles on YouTube and Facebook and all those social media platforms. And her husband were the ones who got me into creating content. And trust me, every family event, I hear it from my sister to for me to tell her thank you and whatnot. But yeah, those were the two who actually got me started with YouTube.
Do you have any plans for a chiropractic location in or near Detroit?
In or near Detroit, that is my hometown. So I'm actually from Shelby Township, but people would never know if I say, "Hey, I'm from Shelby Township." So I always tell people about a half hour north of Detroit. Um, I don't know. I might. So what? I don't know if I'll fully open up an office. I might actually get my license there and do a pop up a couple times a year, and do something in that route because there are and when I do that, I would probably do something in like the Troy area just because it's quite centrally located. And there's a lot of hotels with a lot of really like nice business centers. And I've done that in the past where I've rented out a business center and brought my portable table and brought all my gear and equipment and everything with me. And I did my appointments right out of the business center in a hotel. So I might actually do something like that. You're
Are
laughing again.
I know it's these comments, I swear. Are there self adjustments for your jaw? TMJ asking since the ear pop allowed me to hear my radio waves.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
not
God.
as many self adjustments for the jaw, but I see where you're reading that right there. Yeah, not really too many self ones for the jaw there. Oh,
Um,
I see another one. I live in Shelby Township myself. Nice, nice. Yep, I grew up over at 25 in Shaner. I went to, if so obviously you know the area. Went to Mallow Junior High, and then from Mallow I went to De La Salle out in Warren. So I know he'll know all of that. So
so what's your upper body workout routine to keep them guns? Lifting that block of cheese later that
lifting
day.
every patient up when I grab them and I lift them up and off the table, and I'll grab
It's
them and
that
lift
blue
them
cheese.
up. No, honestly, and my wife can tell you, I don't get to the gym like but maybe once a month I'll do a workout. It's been terrible. We finally just got home gym equipment and now I've got to start using it is the real kicker. But no, I would say what keeps me active and fit is when I'm in an office with for about 8 hours a day and I'm helping patients up and down, and it's quite a workout for me. I mean,
Yeah, you come home
I,
pretty sore.
yeah, I come
At
home
times I'm
sore.
having to like
Like,
massage your back.
yeah, I put a lot of strength in the adjustments and all, and then when I do soft tissue work, I'm like really like digging in there. I mean, those those patients, they trust me, they feel it. I mean, I give them what they need. It's quite a bit of hard work.
Uh, so Jay Shadow's the one that said she's had COVID in her ears.
Hmm.
She said, since the ear pop, my ear is leaking. That's awesome. It's opening everything up and clearing
Yeah,
it out.
yeah, it's opening everything up, so that's a good thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, need to tilt that head to the side or whatever way, let that little bit come out. But yeah, a lot of the times I would do that. Like if you're swimming in a pool and you get that water in your ear, anything like that, that can
Something
definitely
really good.
help. Yep.
Would you rather? I'm just gonna read it. Would you rather be tall but fat or short but skinny?
I'm like in the middle. I'm like short and
You're
chubby.
neither.
I'm like I would say I'm like the short and chubby. Honestly, to me, I don't it doesn't really matter. I guess height would be better, but I mean, I'm so used to being short and I'm not really skinny. I'm more stocky than anything. So I'll keep my shortness.
As a 26-year-old, I run heavy equipment. I've noticed my shoulders and hip alignment are off, and serious pains from my neck all the way down into my lower back. Any stretches you recommend now?
Ooh, any stretches. So one of the go-to I like doing just because it helps bring everybody back into extension. It is called McKenzie extension exercises. That's McKenzie, McKenzie extension. Um, that is a good little routine waking up in the morning and evening. It will take you 5 to 10 minutes to do, but it can definitely help.
Hey man, how's it going? What would be a good way to help with kyphosis?
With kyphosis, so actually, I am not gonna lie, but where you should look for that, So if you guys remember my patient Joel Torres, he was the one. I've made quite a few of the
Operation Stand Tall.
yes, Operation Stand Tall hyperkyphosis videos. On his channel, he goes through and goes over his routine and will actually show you what he does and even what he does while on the road because he does truck driving and he's got to do a lot of his stretches and whatnot, not in his home. So I would say looking at his channel so you can actually see it from somebody firsthand. That is Joel
He's literally going through
Torres, Torres. So yeah, that you would definitely want to check on his channel on that because you'll see it firsthand. You'll see everything that he's doing, what has been working, what might not be working when it comes to stretching and strengthening, things like that.
Oh Lord, would you advise white strapping myself?
I'm trying to
No.
think on the back and doing. I I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to try that one. Um, even with me, like I don't know. I don't think I could do it to myself, to be honest. It'd be. I mean, if I had to, I know I could, but it would be a weird one, to be honest.
What steps did you take to become a professional chiropractor? I only ask because I'm looking to do the same. I've got my own personal test dummy and paying my brother to practice.
Well, I am not gonna lie. So now I know every country does have their own laws and programs. Here here over in America, it is so you're gonna have to have your 4-year bachelor degree and there's a couple classes that are mandatory that you have to have taken some bios and things like that. And then after that 4-year degree, then it's about a 3.5-year program of a doctorate in chiropractic. So basically, it's about 7.5 years at college, and then you have to pass. You got 4 national boards, 5 technically in some states, which include PT. You've got part one, two, three, and four. Some states require PT. And then you have to take a state board for each individual state. Now, if you're in Canada, Canada has their own set of boards that they need to take. And, each other country has their own set of rules and regulations on those.
Somebody from Chile.
Hey, Chile.
Would you go to another country to do adjustments?
So I'm not gonna lie, when we were in chiropractic school, there like on one of our breaks in between our quarter system, there was a big group of us and we went off to Haiti and we did a mission trip in Haiti and we had our guide that took us around to different churches and different areas and we would all set up and we would adjust the locals there. So I would say that has been the only country where I've done chiropractic adjustments in, obviously, besides, here in America.
Well, it's basically like Mother Rasha in my mom's house.
Yeah, oh, yeah, true. My wife with being Russian
Well,
slash
Ukrainian.
Ukraine. Well, Ukraine, yeah. Now I shouldn't make that.
No, you
That
can't.
I
No.
can't really make that.
With Ukrainians who
yeah,
speak Russian.
yeah. I would always joke with my wife and just call her Russian, and she's so used to it. But yes, she's Ukrainian, but yes, she speaks Russian. So yeah, I can't really use that anymore. Like my video Russian models, and every one of them are all Ukrainian in it. But
hello from Argentina. There's a couple of people. Ooh.
Man, here we go. I'm seeing these.
Oh,
Perfect.
I haven't read yet.
All right, Joel Torres. So I see a few people have found his channel with that. So I'm glad that you guys were able to see that. You'll be able to see what kind of stretches and exercises he does for that hyperkyphosis. Definitely would recommend checking out his channel. Something, like I said, seeing it done firsthand and by somebody who has, that kyphosis definitely would be the best spot to go to.
When setting an appointment with you for 2 people relatively back to back, would I have to pay twice or just once? It would be 2 separate appointments, so 2 payments.
Yeah, so everything goes by per adjustment. So each person who's looking to get adjusted, it would go by. Now, there has been times where, there might only be one appointment available and it's like a husband-wife type thing, and the wife is the one who's scheduled, but the husband also wanted to get adjusted, and they're traveling and whatnot.
A
So
lot of times we'll just add you in an office
yeah,
if that's the case.
like my wife said, a lot of times we'll add the spouse, significant other in as well. So if anyone out there is like, oh my gosh, there's only one appointment, but two of us need, trust me, both of you come, we'll make it work. I gotcha.
Hey, I've had one adjustment. I think it messed me up worse. What's your best advice on finding a good chiropractor?
Whew. I'm not gonna lie, it is definitely tough to find a good chiropractor. I mean, trust me, there are a ton of good chiropractors out there, but I mean, in any um, healthcare profession, you're gonna find good and bad doctors. You're gonna find people that are just in it for insurance and for money, and then you're gonna find those people who actually care, about your health and wellness, and are gonna be there for you. But definitely, when it comes to chiropractors, it's a tough one on just reading reviews because what technique might work for one might not work for another. So that is definitely a hard one.
Yeah, he said
Obviously,
it cost him $40 and didn't extra either.
okay. I mean, it's tough though, because I know there's always a lot of hate on the joint chiropractic. And what I tell people is that it's not that the joint has bad chiropractors, because it's not that at all. They're actually, I mean, for the most part, they're good chiropractors. They're just overworked, and they've got too many patients to see because there's no cap. You could,
They had to rush through their
yeah,
adjustments.
they just got to rush, and so they're, somebody comes in and they're like, 1 2 done, 1 2 done, and you got a waiting room of 50 people in there. It's going to be hard to give the quality of care that somebody should get. um Definitely, I would really look at the time a doc spends with you, and if they listen to you. I would say, one, that's going to be the one of the biggest things, but then also noticing how you feel, how your body reacts and responds to an adjustment. That's going to be another. So that's a tough one. You might have to try a few out there, do like maybe 3, 4, 5 in your area, and almost see who you like, because every chiropractor is going to be a little bit different.
What exactly is the knotted muscle that feels harder? I have a massage gun that helps with releasing the tightness, but what am I even doing? LOL.
So a lot of the times, um, patients will develop muscle knots. Things can go out of alignment. Things are pulling, a little bit improperly, and what happens is muscle gets knotted. You might also get buildup of scar tissue in areas, and somebody's muscle. Like one of the biggest things that I see with patients is their scapula. So that scapula is that bone that goes, it's basically across the back, and on the ribs, and what can happen between like the ribs into the scapula, because it's almost like muscle on top of muscle, is adhesions start building up in there, and then that actual scapula isn't gliding and moving as it should, so you're going to have to help break it up. So when using like a massage gun, anything like that, the whole goal is to helping relax the area. Now, if you're talking about specific points in general, I would get I would imagine that the gun came with a couple different attachments. I would use that pointy, usually typically it's like that pointy tip, and pinpoint each one. Get right on that spot, hold it on there for like 3 to 5 seconds, relax, do it again. And I would do that a few times in that area, and then move up and down. So I point here because typically you have a lot of patients that hold their stress through their traps, and it'll be on both, right and left side. And even like in office, I'll use my thumb at times. So I'll do the general massage gun on all areas in the back, and then I'll get in and I'll do some trigger point work, um, actually, like with my hands.
Michael Upcharge just sent 4.99 super chat.
Michael Upchurch, thank you, thank you, thank you. I see a little Bravo and a little Shiba dog right there.
We
Thank
appreciate you.
Yes, we do. We appreciate you. Thank you.
My test dummy has searing pain an inch under his shoulder blades. We suspect it might be acute muscle strain. but is there anything that may be able to relieve it, if any?
With acute muscle strain, where was it at again?
What did I say? Hold on. Has searing pain an inch under his shoulder blades.
Inch under the shoulder blades. Okay, awkward spot. Um, Oof, that one is an awkward spot. Um, Honestly, with one of those, I mean, I would start off right in the beginning doing the alternate ice heat, ice heat, ice heat, using a topical cream like a icy hot Bengay, something like that. Um, Using either a massage gun or an actual massage itself, just seeing if you can get that to relax on its own. At times, you might even need that over the counter, like ibuprofen or something like that. Um, Now, what could it depends on how it was gotten. If it was, just say something you did at the gym and you lifted and pushed a little too hard, that's just going to be a little bit of time that it's going to take. Now, granted, if it's something because it's a weird area, it could be almost even a rib that popped out just a little bit, and you might need to actually get that rib adjusted and put back in. So it's gonna depend on exactly how it started.
Do you adjust feet? Oh, you've got a whole video of
Yeah,
doing
I've
mine.
got a whole video of showing the adjustment on when I was adjusting my wife's feet.
You
And
went into detail every
yeah,
single foot adjustment.
yeah, I went through and I was like each and every different bone in the foot, and I was showing each adjustment, kind of like the line of drive, the angles, everything like that. When I was doing the adjustment, I was getting each little toe, everything. So yeah, I do have. Do you remember what I titled that, babe?
Gosh, I don't know.
Extremity foot adjustment.
There you go.
So if you go and search like on my page, extremity foot adjustment or foot and ankle adjustment, something like that is what I titled it.
Holy guy to shout out his wife's feet. Y'all
And
don't judge my toes. It's a foot adjustment.
yeah,
My feet felt great after that too.
but yeah, that I mean, if actually, and if any Cairo out there was looking, on kind of just a quick remembering on how to adjust feet, that would actually be a great video. Um, Even so, a lot of the, when it comes to the extremities, the adjusting that I did I didn't just graduate and open up my own practice. I worked for, gosh, so many different chiropractors, and I would take the best of everything. And it's an always learning field. You learn new techniques all the time. I love trying new things, even when I see these weird things on TikTok or whatnot.
The skin pull.
Yeah, the skin pull one. I'm not even going to show you guys that because everyone's going to be yanking each other's skin. Um, Actually, it is really funny though.
I just couldn't believe it actually cracked. Like you could
Yeah,
hear
I
legit
know.
cracking cavitation in the spine. It hurt. I'm not gonna lie.
That was funny though. It really was.
It did not feel good, but it was.
But yes, anyways, yes.
Interesting.
Take a look at the feet, and yes, I've learned a lot from different chiros out there and adjusting like hands, feet, shoulders, elbows, wrists, knees, and just a little bit of everything.
So Michael Upchurch is asking, I have a question for you, Dr. Cipriano. Does the white strap work on people with lumbar and cervical fusion with titanium hardware?
So it definitely can work. Whenever I have a patient or somebody looking to schedule an appointment that does have hardware in them, send me an X-ray. I always like to take a look and see exactly what's going on, see exactly where things are fused at, and then I'll be able to give you a better answer with that one. But yeah, I always like to just take a look at those first.
What do you recommend for herniated disc?
Herniated disc usually a lot of the times is a time waiting thing. There's not much when you first herniate your disc. I don't know if anybody out there. I mean, granted, who asked the question knows, but when you do it, I mean, it's like there's no comfortable position you can get into. You're trying to sit, lay, whatever. It's a time game is really all, and it's almost to a point where just activating your core muscles like flares it up. I'm gonna say at that point it's gonna be a lot of rest, ice, water right in the beginning. Um, that's gonna help. And then obviously like the over-the-counter medication. Now, granted, when I do the Y strap, that Y strap is freaking amazing on disc herniation. So if it was something that does not go away, very soon, I would definitely look into getting a Y strap done.
I messed my back up a little deadlifting. It's just a little bit worse than sore feeling, but it's not a terrible pain. Just overuse. What do you think?
A lot. Okay, with deadlifting. See, that's the one thing when it comes to like deadlifting. That's like one thing when I was working out all the time. Granted, like I said, I haven't been in the gym too often anymore, but that is one of the few exercises I'll always go lighter on, and anytime I did try to go a little bit heavier, like for me, I would always wear a belt just because how it pulls on that low back is a little rough. That might just be a little bit of time, take that time out, throw in the towel, uh, do a little bit, if you need to, still wanting to get in the gym or whatnot, if you've got to get in some cardio, definitely do things low force. You don't want to be like pounding on your feet doing things. So yeah, you're gonna want to take just a quick break on that one.
I have to crack my own neck every day, about 3 to 4 times usually. I know this is too much, but how harmful could it be, if at all?
Um, I would say it depends. Like I was showing people earlier in the beginning when I first started this live chat. Um, when cracking, just say like your own neck, one, that's typically your body telling you that something is out of alignment and it's wanting to get moved. And so you'll now let's see if we can get it again. One little one. Nope, see nothing on that side. I got one little one on that side. But when now if you see how I did it, there was no forcing, no like nothing like that. Um, when wanting to do an adjustment on your own neck, if it's more of just turning to the side and the side and you're getting crack, 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 that's not gonna be as bad. When you start doing some force into it, that's when you can start like hyper you're putting hypermobility on the segment above and a segment below at times because usually that fixation is going to be a little bit more specific of an adjustment where it really needs it, and a lot of the times you can't get your hands in the correct line of drive to really get that specific spot.
So I say good morning from Pakistan.
From Pakistan, good morning, man. This is evening over here.
Yeah.
Good morning.
I love your videos. They are very relaxing. Kisses from Brazil.
Thank you, Brazil. Love hearing that. Definitely, definitely.
Does the wallet in the back pocket really help screw up your back?
So when
Pull
I
your hips off?
yes, but what I tell patients that come in, so even for me, I kind of live by this rule on myself. If I'm driving somewhere that is under 30 minutes, my wallet will typically stay in my back pocket. Now, if I'm driving anywhere, 30 minutes or over, wallet comes out and I'll put it in the cup holder or something like that.
Will it mess your hips up at 31 minutes?
Shh. Give or take,
That's
woman.
a very specific number.
It's just a general
No,
number.
I know.
Well, I know, because yeah, those a lot of the times, because if you get them thick wallets and you're sitting and you're like doing one of these all day long, and then to level yourself out, you're torquing your body. Yeah, typically just quicker drives and whatnot. You'll be fine with it in there. But yeah, doing them long distance driving, you want to take that guy out.
Good morning from Philippines.
Good morning, all the way in Philippine. Love hearing that.
Does Mama Sid like to annoy her Italian husband? Fellow Italian here. Absolutely, that is my job.
Yeah, my wife, love her to death, but yeah, she loves to annoy me. Of course she does.
So fun of it. When will you open a shop in New York? I need you 2 kids and 2-car accident. I'm in basically a lot of pain.
Basically in a lot of pain. To be honest, I haven't even looked into New York yet. Granted, like I was telling somebody that I know there was a fellow Detroiter out there asking kind of the same thing if I was ever going to open anything out there. What I might start actually doing is getting my license in a few different areas because I do have a lot of people in the north, like technically like northeast. I would say between like New York, New Jersey, and then like DC area ish. I would have a ton of patients coming in from those areas, and I'd love to get my license out over there in one of those states and do like a pop-up, every so often and just go out there because I know it's hard to be like, oh, let's just make a trip to Tampa or Greenville. It doesn't really work like that. So it might be easier if I did a trip. And how I was saying before, in the past, how I've done it, I've found a hotel that has like a nice business center and I rented out a room at the business center and set up with a portable table, and I brought all my equipment and everything with me there and did the adjustments right out of the business center in the hotel.
Gosh, somebody really wants to know.
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, they have asked 20 times. I've ignored it, but
What
if they get an adjustment, would you give them a happy ending?
if the happy ending means getting relief from their back and spine?
Spinal issues.
Yeah, you'll get spinal happy ending, I guess. I guess you could put it that way. Ah, I
I
love
don't
it.
see the Y strap used in Toronto, Canada. Is it not common here?
Honestly, so what a lot of people don't realize, the Y strap in general, that was invented by a doc back in the 1980s. It just never became mainstream popular. And even all the literature I read back then and news articles on Dr. Pettibon, who invented it, yeah, it was just not a widely used technique. But the results that he was getting with his patients way back then were freaking awesome, and I just couldn't believe that a technique that literally works so well. I mean, you guys see it, and I always get so many people, oh, you do the same thing, you do the same thing, but you got to realize that like even today, every patient that came in and saw me, every patient left feeling amazing. Like issues, oh, I've had neck pains for years, chronic pain, I feel it, gets off the table, holy crap, it's gone. I get that on the daily, and that's why I'm so surprised a technique like that did not become mainstream popular
Well,
because it
and
works so well.
yeah, well, in general, it gets so much hate from
Because it looks
chiropractors and
I,
whatnot. It's like people that are unfamiliar with it are scared of it, but we see that
I
it gets the
know
results.
that's the whole
It
point.
gets the job done. People leave feeling better, and that's the whole point.
Yeah, it looks like it is painful and terrifying, and it really isn't. It's a little shocking because you're not gonna be ready for it when it happens, but the relief you get is wow.
Yep. Speaking of skin stretching, what's your opinion or experience with fascia or fascia release practices? Seen more people swear by it, or seen some people.
The thing is, no, fascia connects everything in the body. I mean, your muscles are connected by fascia. Fat is connected with fat. Everything is connected with fascia. A lot of the times, if you go through an adjustment and you literally go through everything, and I'll have patients that are like, "Oh, I've got pain here, here, here," and as a doc, I'm sitting here, I'm like, "All right, well, this doesn't follow a neurological, pain pathway." Because you know where cervical nerves and how they go into the upper extremities, and then in the lumbar spine those nerves are going down into the lower extremities, and then everything throughout the thoracic is really going into internal organs. You'll see people's pain patterns are like have no pattern at all, just don't follow anything. And a lot of the times it's because of muscle fascia. It's the soft tissue, and it's a hard one to follow. But yeah, if you find somebody who does good soft tissue work, that could be a game changer by itself.
Let's see, what causes the bump of the back of my neck?
This little guy, the no, 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 no. Oh my, yeah, now you're messing me up. Um, Now I'm gonna completely drop a bomb on the name there. Sorry, guys. Um, that little hump that what people get in the neck. So typically that's with I don't want to say it, but it typically is with middle-aged women. It's more of a bone softening, and what happens, they kind of get that appearance. The head starts coming a little bit forward, shoulders get rounded, and they start getting that little bit of a hump. A lot of
Somebody
the
said camel hump.
yeah,
There
well,
was another name for it.
no, there. I'm really gonna because I'm yeah, I'm it's gonna come to me, and I'm just gonna shout it out in a second. But um, a lot of the time, it also can be lower levels of testosterone in the body that are causing that, because when you get that bone softening, um, yeah, it's not fun. Typically, does not cause pain. Sometimes it's even just more of a fluid buildup in the area, but or
I
even
got
like a
that.
fat buildup. But
Yeah, I got that when I gained weight after one of our kids, and my
mhm.
posture was bad because I was always hunched
Well, you're
over.
not 40 though, but
No, no, I understand that, but I'm saying I got it from weight gain,
yeah,
and then as when I lost weight, it went away.
yeah. So
And well, and it was a posture thing too.
yeah, I mean, typically, yeah, you see it in the middle age. What
Dowager's hump.
Dowager's hump. Thank you, whoever said that. Yes, Dowager's hump, buffalo hump. Yes, 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 yes. Dowager's hump,
Gosh, how
mesomorpheus.
did
Yes,
we forget
because
that?
I you threw me off when you said Schumerman, and so the Schumerman kyphosis is that hyperkyphosis that everyone knows. But
Do
yes,
you?
my wife threw me off on that one.
Sorry, guys. Do you know of any white striped dogs in California?
I do actually. So, really good doc out there in LA area. Dr. Tyler Bigelow. He is a great doc in the LA area. Um, I've seen him get really good results with patients, so he would definitely be a good one out there. Besides him, I don't really know any else in the Cali area that does Y straps, but I know he also has been pretty darn booked, and not sure if he is or is not accepting more patients at the time.
So somebody said I have a spine tumor os- I'm gonna butcher this, but osteoma. I think that's how you
Okay.
say it, in my C6, and they won't operate because of location, massive pain all day, every day. Been to chiropractor and physical therapy with no relief. It's caused scoliosis and severe muscle
Yeah.
dysfunction and nerve pain. Neck, upper back, shoulder, and arm pain. What do you recommend the next step for me is?
L- send me send me an email, Dr. Joseph Cipriano at gmail.com. If you can send me a little bit of imaging, I just want to see what is going on, because yeah, that's a rough one. Because I'm not gonna lie, as a Dr. Chiropractic, you're not going to want to adjust an area like that, just because, as you know, liability wise, on the fact that you don't want anything to spread. Now granted, actually I don't even remember what specific type of tumor it was. I'll have you email me with all your info and whatnot. But even when it comes to physical therapy, there's going to be only so much stretching, strengthening. It's a tough one. Yeah, definitely send me the information, everything that's going on, and I'll be able to give you a better answer on that.
Okay, people are just asking do you know anybody who does a strap in Miami, Orlando,
In
New York?
Miami? Come on, Miami. What do you like?
Orlando's even
Yeah,
closer.
Orlando, dude, you're like 45 minutes from me. My office is right here in Tampa. It's not that one. That I had a patient today from Orlando, and
Did you?
she was like, "Yeah, why can't you be in Orlando?" And I was like looking at her like, "Really, really? I'm 40."
People travel
I
like
know.
who knows from where.
Yeah, but no, Miami and in Orlando. Make a nice little fun trip out to Tampa. Um, Granted, I was even thinking about, there might be a day where I do a little pop-up thing or whatnot in Miami, but yeah, as of now, I haven't planned anything like that yet. But at least I'm not too far from, anywhere in the state of Florida isn't
Why
too
don't you
bad.
use those mallets and hammer chisel like things on shoulders?
So, doing that. Typically, I'll use the massage gun. I feel like doing the that percussion vibration is actually very helpful already. And then I've been doing, a lot of times I'll do trigger point therapy, and I'll use my hands, and I'll really just dig in. Um, and those 2 ways are very effective. I mean, nothing wrong with using the hammer and chisel. It's still going to work, especially like on trigger points and things like that. But a lot of it is, just kind of like for show for YouTube and whatnot. It looks really cool, but you're gonna get the same effectiveness as using your hands and whatnot as well.
I have a lot of lower back pain. Any advice you have so I can start sleeping better because sometimes it's too painful?
Well, you might need to come and see me, but I know you're asking for like at home advice. One, definitely seeing a chiropractor. At times, you like some things to look up might even be like a beginner's yoga that can also help with a little bit of flexibility and stretching. And then even like I said earlier in this video, the Mackenzie extension exercises can definitely help bring everything back into an extension. And you'll see some of the positions if you look that up as well. Those are some things you might be able to do at home to help get a little relief. But I would definitely look into some chiropractic care because it more than likely would be a misalignment of a vertebra.
I can crack my neck to the left, but not to the right. Why is that?
So I get that actually quite a bit with people. So you can go one way and you can get something to crack, but you try to go the other and you can't. A lot of times there's a fixation on that other side, and you're gonna definitely need somebody who knows what they're doing to get that to move. So it's literally one vertebra on top of another, and it's just stuck. Over time, those are the areas where how when you hear people getting arthritis or degeneration, those are the areas where it starts first because they've been stuck and misaligned for who knows how long, and that those are the areas. So the sooner you can get that broken up and get back into alignment, um, yeah, the better you'll be because that area will degenerate on you
Does have
sooner.
sorry.
You get
Does having a bad back cause breathing problems? Would love to know if this is true.
um Yes and no. So a lot of the times, people with breathing issues, granted, there's like a million different things that can affect like the lungs and whatnot. On a chiropractic sense, I have many patients who, when they get up from getting a Y strap done, they look at me and they're like, "Holy crap, I can breathe better," and I laugh. And what it is, so the nerves that exit the thoracic spine, they're going around the rib cage, and a lot of the times, if ribs are out of alignment, it can put pressure on the nerves that are going to the lungs. So chiropractic can definitely help with breathing issues. Granted, if it is a that type of issue, but I mean, there are a
Yeah,
lot of
like for my asthma, didn't do
yeah, like
anything.
it yeah, exactly. My wife has a little bit of kinda like some asthmatic type issues at times, but there's no, like, actual pattern to it. It's unfortunately not a chiropractic thing that I can help,
I
but
wish.
yeah, I know. We both wish on that.
How do you know how much strength to use when making adjustments? Looking at the adjustments you do sometimes looks scary.
Everything is really based on the patient. Like, I had a little bit older gentleman today, the one that I was, talking about earlier that was in a wheelchair, had 2 broken ankles and whatnot. And he has osteopenia, softening of the bone. So, of course, with somebody like him, I am not going to do crazy hard drops or really rock the Y strap as hard as I would like a 25-year-old, like healthy male or female type person. So it really is going to depend. And then you'll see patients that when you do an adjustment, if they're a little bit more kinda like, "Ow, ow, it kinda hurt, it felt." You almost kinda gotta judge a person. You don't want to overdo something and scare them even though you know it's doing them their body's good, but, so you kinda gotta find that happy medium with patients.
Let me see. I was hearing turmeric helps with joint pains. Is that true?
So, turmeric, what that is a very, very good anti-inflammatory, like, herb is what that is. It's basically it's a root, and I mean, you can go to, like, a Whole Foods, and you can get it already, like, pre-ground up, and doing that in a I mean, you can cook with it. Cooking with it is completely fine. It has that, kinda that strong taste. You almost notice a lot of the times, like, Indian type food will have, uh be kind of heavily spiced in like a turmeric and a curry. A lot of the times, what I'll tell patients is doing either a tea, like a ginger turmeric tea, kind of cut with a little honey because ginger and turmeric aren't the two best type of taste. Doing that, or even sometimes doing like the little capsules, the turmeric capsule. All right, give me one more, and then We've been on for an hour and 15. See, this is why now I like to do these lives, because I get a lot of very good questions, and everyone out there who is watching just knows. So I'm looking to do lives on Wednesdays and Saturday evenings, and then if I do miss any questions out there, make sure send me an email. That's going to be the best way, and I can always go through and answer your questions that I missed via email.
And then we're also planning to do 1 to 2 lives a week.
Well, that's what I said.
Okay.
Wednesdays and Saturdays will be the days where I'm looking to go live on. So that's what I said. If you want to shoot me one more question, and then I'm going to hop off for the day.
Let me see. I thought, honestly, I think I got him for the most part. This kind of made me laugh. Just open up a mobile office in every Wawa parking lot up and down the East Coast.
Open up yes, a mobile office in every Wawa parking lot. I'm not gonna lie. I've had some people tell me they're like you should just do like a mobile chiropractic, get like one of those huge kind of like RVs, and you can just drive around anywhere and hop out and do an adjustment. I'm like, yeah, but then I gotta drive all day. I'm like, you know how much stress and strain that would be on me. Like that would be a tough one. But yeah, I'll answer this as a funny one at the end. How long have I been growing this beard? So I've had this going for like 7-8 years now. I think
just trim it all the time.
Yeah, I trim it all the time. I kind of keep it right around this
That's
length
not going
now.
anywhere.
No, I like having my beard. It just it extends my face and makes it look a little bit longer. So I'm not just all chubby cheeks on you guys, but all right. Yeah, I know, no, with the baby face and whatnot, but everyone out there, definitely thank you for watching.
Thank you for joining.
Yes. Also, like I was saying before, Wednesdays and Saturday evenings are when I'm looking to do the live videos. So if you guys are available, it'll be those evenings. I'll try to do a little shout out or a message on what is it, on the YouTube channel, letting everyone know, like maybe like 30 minutes to an hour before I know I'm going to go live.
What we could do is basically post it on YouTube.
We could do like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, even just put a little post down.
Yeah, we'll do that in the stories and whatnot, like an hour, 30 minutes to an hour prior.
Yeah.
But it'll be give or take Wednesdays and Saturdays when we can.
Yep. And then, like I said, anybody out there who wanted a question answered and I might have missed, just send me an email and I'll definitely get that answered for you. But
have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night, everybody.